In this demo, I'm going to show you the assisted AI chat. So this chat has a human in the loop, which is myself. And so the entire intent behind this is that I am a solo operator of the TI skills economy, which is encapsulated in chargingthefuture.com. So chargingthefuture.com hosts the TI skills economy, and the TI Skills Economy's goal is to connect the estimated up to 5 million individuals, targeted individuals across the entire globe. That is a large population, and we're all distributed. And as I've mentioned multiple times, there are economies that are the size of 5 million people. So, for example, Finland and Singapore are good examples of countries that have low millions in population but are thriving economies. And they're both majority service-based economies. And so since nowadays the modern day economy is majority service-based, that means a lot of services can happen remotely, but to have an app that can support up to 5 million individuals means that there has to be a bunch of efficiency tools built in. And so that's why I have the AI chat. Now, if you go to chargingthefuture.com and if you go to the page, it kind of gives you a, um, a simplified demo of what this TI Skills Economy app can do for you with the AI assistant built in. And so you can come in and you can ask a question, and the whole goal is that the AI is going to give you the best response. Now, in the same chat, it is peer-to-peer chat, so it's both combined. So when you come in, you can speak directly to the rest of the community by just simply creating a message. However, if you do @comic, then you are asking the AI chatbot to provide you a response, right? So let's do the demo here. So if I just want to speak plainly to any individual within the TI Skills economy, I can just write my chat message like, hello, everyone. But say, because right now we have 67 members, which is very good. But that's not a lot right now if you think about 67 people distributed across the globe, right? So if you want an answer as soon as possible, the best way is probably to ask the AI chatbot. So I would go to @comic and I would be like, I am in need of housing as soon as possible. What are my options? So now you just sent a message directly to the AI bot and you will receive a response. Now, I'm going to give you a behind the scenes of what is happening so you understand how these questions are created or the responses are created to your questions. And the reason why I want to show you that is because this is a community built by us for us, right? And so when your questions go to @comic, there is a kind of like a chat GPT thing running against the question to answer your question. But as a TI, you already know if you go to chat GPT and you type in the colloquial name for the spectorati, you will get you'll put gang stalking as an example, and ChatGPT will basically lie and say that doesn't exist. That's not a thing, right? Now, as a targeted individual, you are fully aware that human trafficking is a thing. It is real. And if you go to that chatbot, to the general public, commercially available chatbots for consumers, the data that feeds it and trains it is coming from human traffickers a lot of the information because it's just the general internet. So any type of misinformation is going to be in there, or disinformation, right? So people who unknowingly are giving wrong information, or the disinformation from perps who are trying to purposely confuse the public and also make sure that you don't get information. So with this AI chat, it is specifically curated on our content, and I review it to make sure that it's giving the correct information. So when you're speaking to this AI chat, you're not speaking to the general internet. Rather, it's our own copy of information that's trained on our data. And over time, it gets better and better. And so the reason why it has a human in the loop, aka me at this point, is so that we're in the early days, right? To my knowledge, I'm the first person to ever do this, to basically create, basically train an AI agent on human trafficking specific issues, right? And so this is not going to get it right all the time. So that's why I have it by default. Anytime anyone sends any message to the chat, I will review it first. I will then curate the answer if I need to and add any resources that needs to take place. So I will demo that to you. And again, this code is also open source. So if you go to GitHub, which if you go to the home page and then you go to GitHub, that's where the code is stored. You can review it. If you can't read code, you can always go through the different folders, copy and paste it into, for example, ChatGPT or any other public AI tool, and ask it to tell you what the code is doing. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like behind the scenes. So because I'm an admin, I have this icon that shows up. If you're not an admin, you're not going to have that icon. I am then going to go to, and so the way it works is your questions come in, and then I go to the admin dashboard, and I can see the questions come in, and I will review it. So let's go to the one I just asked right now. And the one I just asked that right now is like, I'm in need of housing as soon as possible. What are my options? Right now it says there's no AI draft, but I can click a button to regenerate it. And again, this is like the very first early stages of training this data around human trafficking, around the topic of human trafficking, and how and within the context of helping survivors, right? So the answers are going to come out wrong. I already know that. To speed up this demo, because right now it's generating off this, I did ask it earlier. So let me go to the one that I asked earlier and it finished. So you see I asked this 4 minutes ago, but right before starting this demo, I asked it. And it gave an answer, but the answer isn't fully correct. So again, this is the very first question, the very first time of trying to train the data. So what's happening is it takes all of the code from the TI Skills Economy, which is CTF, which is Charging the Future. You know, TI Skills Economy is hosted within this app. It's taking all the data that that's embodied in this app, and it's training off of that, and it's not getting it right the first time, which is an obvious thing. So here it's saying for immediate housing things, go to the directory. That is not what I would recommend. So what happens now is I'm going to go in and edit the response. And the correct answer is that Lighthouse. Use CTF. And you're already in CTF, so I don't think it's necessary to mention that. So for immediate housing options, search Lighthouse to find shelters and safe housing in your area. And typically I would add more, but I want to keep this demo straight to the point. And so you'll see here that I have modified the answer so to make sure it's correct. I'll then approve and correct the answer, say OK. And now I will go back to the comments, which is the chat area, I guess, so to speak. And in a short moment, it will then publish that answer to that user. So that is pretty much the demo. And let me go back here. And I think, yeah. And I also wanted to let you know too. And the reason why it also goes through human review is that, I try my best to not let perps into the community, but it's going to happen. Again, it's not necessarily only on me, but it's on to everyone who is using the platform. When people join, if we suspect someone is a perp, it's you should report it to me as soon as possible so I can review the profile and do a second pass. But the chat is monitored in that way as well to protect you. And so as requests come in, if for some reason it's an inappropriate request or something, I can reject it here. So that way we're not feeding or we're not training the AI assistant on information that's abusive, for example. So if I reject it, then that goes into the training model to make sure that that type of stuff is filtered out to reduce harm on the platform. And so, yes, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, as a general individual, you do not have access to admin. This is just one of the, it's probably going to be very rare. This is the first time I'm doing it where I'm showing you the admin panel, but I just wanted to show you this because it's very important to the core of the feature so you understand what is happening, because the whole goal is to provide you with instant actionable data, and over time it's going to get faster and better. And I wanted to show it to you as also proof of like how steps are being taken to make sure that the information that you're receiving back is accurate as possible and is not fed with perp information. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know.